All right, let's talk about infrastructure security. We actually did kind of cover this in brief earlier when we were talking about managed cloud service providers because they take care of all this stuff for you. But these are the suggestions for securing infrastructure in a Kubernetes cluster. The first is network access to the API server, which is your control plane. So all access to the Kubernetes control plane is not allowed publicly on the internet and is controlled by network access control lists, restricted to the set IP addresses needed to administer the cluster. So pretty clear. Don't make it publicly available. Network access to nodes. Nodes should be configured to only accept connections from the control plane on the specified ports and accept connections for services in Kubernetes of a type node port or load balancer. And, just put a load balancer in front of that and you should be A-OK. Like a cloud one or something like that. Kubernetes access to a cloud provider API. So each cloud provider grants a different set of permissions. So now we're talking about cloud providers to Kubernetes control plane and nodes. It's best to provide the cluster with cloud provider access that follows the principle of least privilege. So POLP. That's the initialism for that for the resources it needs to administer. So this is just like imagine you're on AWS and you make a role. Just make sure that role is given to somebody that should have it, or just limit that kind of stuff there. Access to etcd. So access to etcd, the database store for Kubernetes, should be limited to control plane only. Depending on your configuration, you should attempt to use etcd over TLS. More information can be found in the etcd documentation. Etcd encryption. So whenever possible, it's a good practice to encrypt all storage at rest. And since etcd holds the state of the entire cluster, including secrets, disks should especially be encrypted at rest. Again, if you're using cloud service providers, they'll usually integrate with the provider. So like on AWS, it would use KMS. For Azure, it'd use Vault Store. And sometimes it's like just a checkbox during the setup. So, it makes that things a lot easier for you. So there you go.